Hi guys, it's Nicola Dawkins here, founder of 444 Life Skills and Networking, and I just wanted to hop on today and give you guys a little bit of advice really on what you can do or things you can look into to protect your financials during this difficult time. Your income, so how you can protect your income or how you can find ways to increase or generate some income. How you can decrease your outgoings for the foreseeable future, and how you should manage applications if you are applying for credit or anything of that sort during this difficult time. So, a lot of us have either lost jobs, maybe been put on furlough, possibly still working from home on a normal wage. Whatever it might be, a lot of us have been affected by the current situation, and or self-employment, which I think self-employed individuals and business owners have probably taken the hardest hit. However, there are a few avenues that self-employed individuals can go down to protect their income that the government have put in place, which would definitely be worth looking into. So your income. To increase or generate income during this time, there are a few things you can do. If you watched my last video, you would have heard me discussing Depop or resale sites for any items that you may not use that can be of value to someone else. I made, in 1 week when I first joined Depop, I think I made about 300 quid in a week. Just from selling, items that I don't use or that have been laying around the house. At this time, it's even worth looking at items that you don't need. So even if you use them, but they are of value, you can sell them if you don't need them. Because at the moment, income is what you need, and there's no telling what the foreseeable future may hold. So any income that you can obtain and protect, you should do that. Exercise your craft. And when I say exercise your craft, I mean whatever it is you do, even if you're not self-employed, but you have a talent or you have knowledge or an ability that you're able to deliver to others remotely, now would actually be the time to look into exercising some of those talents and creating something that everyone can now, dip into virtually. You've got, for example, a fantastic fitness trainer, Sierra London. No, her name is Kira. Sorry, it's Kira. So when, we were first put on lockdown and in quarantine, she just decided to go ahead and do live workouts every day for free on Instagram at 12 p.m. And she's great at what she does. So being great at what she does and using the sort of initiative to go ahead and put out her content live had people, reposting her and talking about her, and she then gained a huge following. And heaps of people, signed on to her live workouts at 12 o'clock. And then she needed money, she was a personal trainer, gyms are shut. She's now created a subscription. She's priced it fairly, and her bills are now taken care of, probably, and some, just because she used her craft, she used her initiative and went out there. And that is what you need to do at this time. Even if you are working in finance, for example, and you're working from home now, or you've been placed on furlough, but you have information that could be useful to other people. There are a lot of people who are considering starting businesses, or people who are interested in learning about accounting or finance. Use the information to teach someone else, and you can charge a small fee for that. Similarly, if you are a web designer, or if you are an IT technician, you possess information that people want or that people need. And just because you've been paid for it through a company up to now, that's actually no reason not to dig into the information you possess, create something, that you can generate some income from in the meantime, and deliver a service to others. So that's just a couple of things you can use to generate some income and put some thought into it. The other would, of course, just be going out and getting a job that is still active, so an additional job or a new job that is still active at the moment. such as supermarkets, delivery drivers, customer service agents, etc. So, decreasing your outgoings. This one's quite important, and this is an absolute gem because, again, where our income is a little bit unsteady at the moment, or a lot of people's income could be a little bit unsteady at the moment, this will definitely help with expenditure and managing your finances for the foreseeable future. So there are a number of options available to you if you are trying to decrease your outgoings at the moment. Mortgage, credit card payments, car insurance. Everyone at the moment, or more or less every establishment at the moment, are offering some sort of relief or deferred payments. So for example, you have the banks, they are giving you an up to 3-month mortgage payment holiday. So you can apply for an up to 3-month mortgage payment holiday, meaning that you can pause your mortgage payments for 1 to 3 months, and then you will pick up from the 4th month onward as you had been, but they will revise your payment. This will give you a little bit of time to figure out, where you're going from here. Whether it's that you've lost your job, that you're not sure of what the future holds, your income. If you can actually just pause your outgoings, that will take off a lot of pressure for you to then figure out where you go from here. When you do go ahead and apply for this mortgage holiday, make sure you ask them to give you an indication of what your payments will look like from month 4 onward. This is because you don't want to go ahead and pause your outgoings now and live in a false reality that, great, I'm not spending any money, and maybe using your money for other things, and then from month 4 onward, it then turns out that the payments that are due are more than you can afford. So make sure you ask all your questions and figure out if this is something that is suitable for you. Don't get yourself into any issues in the future. Credit card payments. Similarly, credit card companies, or a lot of them, are offering sort of like a pause on your credit card payments. So give your credit card company a call, and just ask them, what are you offering in light of COVID-19, and see if it's any use for you. Similarly with loan payments, also car payments. If you have a car on hire purchase or lease, speak to the provider and ask them, if they're offering any sort of relief, or what are they offering in light of COVID-19. And the same with car insurance as well. If you can't afford to pay your car insurance for a couple of months, give your car insurance provider a call and let them know the situation and see what they're offering. Most establishments are offering some sort of payment holiday or break on the charges and the bills that you owe, and most of them will not have any effect on your credit report, or any negative effect on your credit report. Please make sure when you contact the providers, you're asking them what your payments will look like moving forward to make sure you can afford it, and will it have any effect on your credit score, or any negative effect on your credit score or credit report. It is easy to get tempted to say, yeah, let's pause everything, but then please bear in mind that from month 4 onward, you will have to pick up these payments, and the payments will be more because you have to make up what you've missed. So maybe pause your largest outgoings and continue paying the rest, or some of which you can pause the payment towards, for instance, if it's a car, and only pay for the insurance, the interest. Definitely go ahead and speak to your providers and see what they can do for you. Now, applications. You may want to go ahead and make applications for new credit cards, or new loans, or new products as such that will help you throughout this difficult time. I think to be mindful of when you're doing this, because the foreseeable financially for everyone is unpredictable. Whether you're a business owner, whether you have a really great job, it doesn't matter what your situation is now. We are in a crisis globally, and there's no telling what tomorrow holds for any of us. So options that may be out there for you that may be suitable is a 0% balance transfer card. So if you have a credit card at the moment and you have a balance on your credit card that may be slightly high, or you're accumulating interest on that card because you can't afford to pay it off in full like you usually do, you may want to look into applying for a 0% balance transfer card. And that basically means you can transfer the balance from your current credit card onto the balance transfer card. And usually with balance transfer cards, you have a period of 6 months, 12 months, 18 months that you don't pay any interest on balance transfers and some purchases. So if you, for example, have a card and the balance on the card is £3,000 and you're paying interest on that £3,000, that is accumulating monthly. So if you're only paying £30 or £50 a month on that £3,000 debt, you will accumulate quite a lot of interest on that over time. What you can do is apply for a 0% balance transfer card. You can transfer the £3,000 debt from the card you're paying interest on over to the 0% balance transfer card, and that balance transfer card is not going to be charging you any interest. So even if you're paying £50 a month, you're not paying any interest on the balance that you owe. And again, that can be for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, some of which 24. You search the market, see what works best for you, but it just again takes off the pressure of having, you know, more costs and more finances, because every £50 you're paying towards your debt on the card which is charging you interest, they're probably charging you that £50 interest again. So you're only really clearing off your interest as opposed to your balance. Whereas on the balance transfer card, you're paying off what you owe and there's no pressure really with respect to the amount, as long as you're covering your minimum payment, of course. You know, these things are tailored to individuals, so you do need to take into account your personal circumstances. These are just suggestions for you. If you're applying for loans, similarly, personally, I wouldn't recommend applying for any loans at the moment. And again, that's solely because of the uncertainty of what the future holds. You might have a great income at the moment, you might think you're fine, you apply for the loan, and then in 6 months' time, the company you work for finds themselves in financial difficulty and they have to let you go. You can be the number one star player, but where business is concerned, it's business. And, you know, these things happen. So I think something like a 0% balance transfer card is safe, because you're moving over some debt you already owe onto something that's not going to charge you any more interest. But if you take out something like a loan, you're accumulating more debt in an uncertain time. Again, it's your personal finances. It's up to you what it is you do with that and how you manage it. But please move forward with the thought process of anything can happen, because in these times anything really can happen. But those are just a few points that I thought I could share with you that may be useful, some information you may not have known, and just some things to look into a little further. We are still offering one-to-one consultancy remotely. So if there are any of the information we've discussed today, or anything in relation to your credit or your property, feel free to get in contact with us and we will be able to sort something for you. And just stay safe, stay home, and be conscious of how you're spending and how you're accumulating debts from here on for the foreseeable, because we don't know what the future holds. So I hope this has been helpful. If you've got any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.